New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next hour, Hamas releases a new video of Israeli hostages as the conflict completes 100 days. Israel's cabinet set to vote on 2024 wartime budget. India's External Affairs Minister EAM Jaishankar visits Iran for talks on political cooperation, connectivity and regional issues. Taiwan loses another ally. The Pacific island of Nauaru outs ties with Taipei, decides to establish diplomatic ties with Beijing instead. And North Korea tests a new missile as its foreign minister travels to Russia for deepening cooperation across the board. Monday is day 101 of the Israel-Hamas conflict. Hamas aired a video allegedly showing the Israeli hostages it's holding in Gaza. For its part, Israel's army released a video of its forces operating in Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip and uncovering mortars and other munitions.
As Israel marked 100 days since the October 7 attack, Hamas on Monday released a video showing 3 Israeli hostages that they are holding in Gaza. The 37-second video ended with an electronically generated caption, "Tomorrow will inform you of their fate." Thousands of Israelis continue to call for the immediate release of hostages. Despite pouring rain, families of hostages were joined by thousands in a 24-hour-long rally that ended on Sunday night in a Tel Aviv plaza.
This was crime against humanity, not crimes against Israel. It was committed against Israeli, American, German, French. It doesn't matter. They didn't stop and ask who you are and where you live. So yes, I want to say to the leaders of the world, this is your responsibility too, to make sure they're coming back home, all 136 people.
Meanwhile, on Sunday, Israeli army released a video which it says shows its forces operating in the southern Gaza Strip of Khan Yunis and uncovering mortars and other munitions. The video shows gun battles and explosions as well as soldiers entering buildings through holes in the exterior walls of the building. Relatives and friends of German nationals kidnapped by Hamas militants marched through the center of Berlin to mark 100 days of their captivity.
I want to say that it's been 100 days today. And time, we don't have a lot of time at all. Time is running out. And I feel that we need to do something now.
Meanwhile, Israel launched strikes on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon after a guided missile launched from the other side killed a woman and her son in a village in northern Israel. Earlier, the Israeli military said that they killed 4 heavily armed terrorists trying to enter from Lebanon.
And now to the latest on the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Russia on Sunday claimed that its forces warded off Ukraine's multiple attacks, while Ukraine said that its armed forces continue offensive operations. Russia said that its air defenses intercepted several rockets and drones from Ukraine. On the other hand, Ukraine claimed that its air force carried out strikes on Russian personnel and equipment positions. The 54th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum has begun at Davos. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, French President Emmanuel Macron, and key West Asian leaders will convene to attend the 54th annual gathering. Putting an end to the ongoing conflicts in West Asia and Ukraine topped the agenda. A challenging global economic picture with shifting interest rate policies and rising debt will also confront central bankers, financiers, and business leaders who will be attending the meeting. The national security advisors of several countries met in Davos on Sunday to discuss a peace formula for Ukraine. This was the fourth NSA's meeting on the peace formula proposed by Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky in 2022, which follows 10 principles aimed at ensuring a just and lasting peace in Ukraine. Moving on, U.S. fighter aircraft shot down an anti-ship cruise missile fired from Yemen towards a U.S. destroyer operating in the southern Red Sea. It follows a series of U.S. and U.K. airstrikes on Houthi targets in Yemen that have drawn threats of a strong response from the Iran-backed Houthis. But no injuries or damage were reported. The Red Sea crisis has added to the anxieties over a wider conflict in West Asia. Australia's Foreign Minister Penny Wong is visiting West Asia. She said Australia was right to be in the Red Sea to ensure that international borders and international law were observed. She'll visit Jordan, Israel, the occupied Palestinian territories, and the United Arab Emirates.
We all know that pathway can only be found by the parties to the conflict. I will be focusing on advocating Australia's position, our priority on international humanitarian assistance, our priority on international humanitarian law. I will be engaging with many parties in the region.
In other news, the UK is going to commit 20,000 military personnel to serve across Europe in a major NATO exercise in the first half of this year. It will also commit warships and fighter jets. The UK Defence Ministry says that the deployment includes an aircraft carrier strike group, an F-35B Lightning attack jets and surveillance planes, as well as 16,000 UK Army troops who will be based in Eastern Europe between February and June. NATO's exercise Steadfast Defender 24 marks the Western Alliance's 75th year. Last week, UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak announced that the UK will increase its support for Ukraine in the next financial year to $3.19 billion, an increase of £200 million over the previous 2 years. The Indian Army is celebrating the 76th Army Day with a grand parade in India's Uttar Pradesh's capital city, Lucknow. Indian Army Chief General Manoj Pandey inspected the parade at parade grounds. Uttar Pradesh's capital hosts only the second Army Day outside of the country's capital, New Delhi, to commemorate Field Marshal K.M. Cariappa becoming the first Indian Commander-in-Chief of independent India. The parade is witnessing 6 marching contingents, military band comprising of 5 regimental brass bands and 3 pipe bands. Artificial intelligence is being used to judge the best marching contingent, pipe band marching contingent with brass band as well.
उत्तरी सीमाओं पर हमारी सेना किसी भी स्थिति से निपटने के लिए पूरी तरह तैयार और सक्षम है। उत्तरी सीमाओं पर अपनी क्षमता को विकास करने के लिए हमने कई ठोस कदम उठाए हैं। हाल ही में इमरजेंसी प्रोक्योरमेंट के प्रावधानों के जरिए हमने कई आधुनिक उपकरणों की आपूर्ति की है, जिसमें नीश टेक्नोलॉजी के लैस अस्त्र शस्त्र भी शामिल हैं। सीमा क्षेत्रों में क्रिटिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को विकसित करने की दिशा में खास ध्यान दिया गया है और इसमें अच्छी प्रगति भी हुई है।
India's President Draupadi Murmu, who is the Supreme Commander of the country's armed forces, extended felicitations to the Indian Army. For his part, Prime Minister Narendra Modi posted a video on his social media accounts. He says that Army Day honors the extraordinary courage, unwavering commitment and sacrifices of the country's army personnel. He called the army a pillar of strength and resilience. Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan extended greetings to all ranks of the Indian Army and veterans. He said the unwavering dedication, invincible attitude and indomitable spirit of the army personnel are the bedrock of India's security. 2024 marks a significant milestone in the history of the India Meteorological Department as it proudly celebrates 150 years of service to the nation. The IMD increased its accuracy in weather forecast in 2023. Tapas Bhattacharya reports.
2024 marks a significant milestone in the history of the India Meteorological Department as it proudly celebrates 150 years of dedicated service to the nation. From its humble beginnings in 1875, headquartered in the eastern Indian city of Kolkata, to becoming one of the oldest scientific departments in India, IMD has come a long way. The year-long celebration kicks off with a national-level function on January 15, 2024, at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi, reflecting on the remarkable journey and achievements. From pioneering surface-based organization networks in 1875 to the launch of radar systems in 1947, IMD has consistently embraced innovation. With its headquarters now in Delhi, IMD operates hundreds of observation stations across India. The department plays a crucial role in forecasting, naming and issuing warnings for tropical cyclones in the northern Indian Ocean region. A true global player, IMD collaborates with international organizations providing cyclone forecasts to 13 countries and severe weather forecast guidelines to 9.
We are working for the global community, but in recent time, in the line of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, you will find that India's role has been manifold increased. We are providing forecast, warning, advisory services and capacity building to all the countries in South Asia, Southeast Asia, Middle East. For cyclone forecast, we provide 13 countries directly. Every day, information goes to all the countries in Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea region.
In recent years, IMD has undergone a paradigm shift, achieving a massive increase in weather forecast accuracy in 2023. Leveraging technology, the department provides marine weather services, aviation services to over 100 airports, and experiments with AI for cutting-edge solutions. As a testament to its commitment, IMD is set to launch Mausam, a new app marking its 150th anniversary. This app aims to bring accurate forecasts to the fingertips of the public, emphasizing impact-based forecasting and disaster risk reduction. In the words of the Director General of the IMD, the journey of 150 years reflects not just our history, but a commitment to excellence, innovation, and global collaboration. We look forward to the future with a focus on leveraging technology for the benefit of our nation and the world.
IMD has moved from 1875 to 2023, and it's playing a pivotal role in taking this new India forward. With camera person Loknath, this is Tapas Bhattacharya for GD India from Delhi.
Cold wave conditions continue to grip northern India, including the country's capital, New Delhi. The India Meteorological Department has forecast that cold to severe cold wave conditions are likely to continue over the plains of northwestern India during the next 3 days, with minimum temperatures in the range of 3 to 7 degrees Celsius over most parts of Punjab, Haryana, Delhi and Uttar Pradesh. Dense to very dense fog conditions are also likely to continue over northern India during the next 4 to 5 days. The New Delhi airport has issued an advisory for passengers requesting them to contact airlines before traveling. At least 168 flights leaving New Delhi were delayed. 56 flights were cancelled on Monday morning because of low visibility. At least 18 trains to New Delhi were running late because of dense fog. Still to come on DD India News Hour. Republican candidates face their first test from voters, make their final pitch in the U.S. state of Iowa. Taiwan welcomes a U.S. delegation just days after the island voted a new president into power. And a volcano erupts in southwestern Iceland on Sunday, engulfing buildings in flames.
This is Dashrath Mahal or Dashrath Palace, which is thought to have served the home of Lord Rama in his younger days and also served as the capital of King Dashrath.
राम राज्य पूर्णतः 22 जनवरी को वापस आ रहा है। हम लोगों में एकदम हर्ष उल्लास है। जय श्री राम।
पूरी अयोध्या मानो दुल्हन की तरह सज गई है।
राम राज्य के दर्शन करने सब राज आएगा। ये पृथ्वी का ना राजा राम जी है।
अयोध्या में राम जी का भव्य मंदिर, दिव्य मंदिर बन रहा है। ये हमारे स्वाभिमान का प्रतीक है।
Iconic Ram Ki Pedi or the series of ghats on the bank of much revered river Saryu.
राम जी का राज्य था, राम जी का राज्य है, राम जी का राज्य रहेगा।
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. To the Indo-Pacific now, where North Korea tested a new solid-fuel hypersonic missile with intermediate range. It said that the launch was aimed at testing the reliability of new multi-stage high-thrust solid-fuel engines and an intermediate-range hypersonic maneuverable controlled warhead. The test coincided with North Korean Foreign Minister Cho Son-hui's visit to Russia. The missile launch and visit to Russia came amid growing tensions on the Korean peninsula. A series of intercontinental ballistic missile launches, the launch of a first military spy satellite, and Pyongyang's deepening ties with Moscow have all worried the US and its allies.
Instantly spotted and monitored North Korea's missile launch and closely shared related information with the United States and Japan. We strongly condemn the North Korea's missile launch, which is a clear provocation that seriously threatens the peace and stability on the Korean peninsula.
Japan's chief cabinet secretary has said that North Korea may carry out further provocations.
We believe that there is a possibility that North Korea may carry out further provocative actions in the future, including launching various missiles. Japan will continue to work closely with the United States and South Korea and do our utmost to collect and analyze information as well as monitor the situation.
And my colleague Andrew Wood joins us for more on this developing story from Hong Kong. Andrew, how have the US and its allies in the region reacted to the latest North Korean provocation?
Well, with condemnation mainly. This is supposedly a test launch. It's clearly in violation of United Nations Security Council resolutions that prevent or forbid North Korea from developing such weapons and having its own space program. But we haven't heard condemnation from Russia or China. Now, those countries are both members of the UN Security Council, and so presumably you'd think would support or would criticize anybody who tries to break UN Security Council resolutions. But so far they seem quiet.
Andrew, the test coincided with North Korea's foreign minister's visit to Russia. What might be on her agenda there?
Well, Russia and Korea, North Korea, they've been allies going back to just after the Second World War. And of course it was Russia that gave, or the Soviet Union, Stalin, that gave North Korea the go-ahead to invade South Korea in 1950. And they've stayed quite close, but they've become a lot closer over the past year, especially in the past 6 months, as we saw President Putin go to Vladivostok in the far east of Russia, which is right next to the border with North Korea. And North Korean's leader Kim Jong-un went to talk to him. They met there for a summit. Since then, it appears that North Korean missiles have been used by Russia in Ukraine. And the talk is that North Korea is benefiting from technology about launching missiles and so on from Russia too.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Andrew Wood in Hong Kong, thank you. Appreciate it. And Russia on Sunday welcomed North Korea's Foreign Minister Cho Son-hui for talks on deepening ties between the two nations. Choi met officials from the Russian Foreign Ministry and the North Korean Embassy on Monday. Later, she will have talks with her Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov as the two countries deepen economic, political and military ties. In more news from the Indo-Pacific, Taiwan has broken its official diplomatic relations with the tiny Pacific island of Nauaru, Taiwan's Deputy Foreign Minister Tien-Ching Kwang said on Monday. Taiwan's move came after Nauaru, a Pacific island nation north of Australia, said it will sever diplomatic relations with Taiwan and recognize China instead. Taiwan slammed China for suppressing Taiwan's diplomatic space, but that cannot hinder the will of Taiwan's people to go out into the world. It said China has repeatedly used false promises to lure its friends.
In order to maintain our sovereignty and dignity, we have decided from this very day to end diplomatic relations with Nauaru, halt bilateral plans for cooperation, withdraw the embassy and repatriate technical personnel, and will demand for Nauaru to shut its embassy in Taiwan. Just as many democratic countries around the world congratulate Taiwan's victory in democracy by successfully holding an election, Beijing authorities decided to suppress Taiwan in this manner and launched an attack on international order and stability. This is revenge on the value of democracy and also a challenge against the global order. China has been deliberately trying to lure our diplomatic allies over the years.
Meanwhile, Taiwan has hailed its close and staunch partnership with the United States. President Tsai Ing-wen said this as she welcomed a delegation sent by U.S. President Joe Biden's government to make a post-election visit. The delegation will meet senior politicians, including Tsai's Vice President Lai Ching-te, who won Saturday's election. Lai has meanwhile reiterated that he will continue to defend peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. After months of campaigning, the Republican candidates vying to unseat U.S. President Joe Biden in November are facing their first formal test from voters. Monday marks the first time the Republicans in any state get to have their say, ahead of which hopefuls are busy making their final pitch to caucus goers in the state of Iowa. Meanwhile, the weather has proved to be a major obstacle for the candidates ahead of caucus night. William Denslow has more from Iowa. Take a listen.
As you can probably see, it is freezing cold in Iowa. The temperature's down at over minus 20 degrees Celsius. However, that is not deterring people to come and listen to former President Donald Trump just behind me at Simpson's College, about an hour away from the state capitol in Des Moines. It's the final opportunity for the various Republican candidates to make their pitch to Iowans, for them to come out and caucus for them ahead of Monday's vote. The candidates for several days have been busy going all around the state to make that pitch to voters, why they should be their pick to be the Republican nominee to face off against Joe Biden in the presidential election later this year. The weather needs to be taken into serious consideration. Bitterly cold, some campaign events over recent days have been cancelled, but as we see here, there's still plenty of appetite for our Iowans to hear from the candidates who are making their final says. And the polls are very revealing as well. We've just had the release of a Des Moines Register NBC News poll that shows that Donald Trump here in the state has around a 48% lead compared to Nikki Haley, the former UN ambassador, who holds around 20% of the polling, with Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor, down at around 16%. However, of course, those are polls. The challengers to Donald Trump very much hoping that will change. Throughout this race, Donald Trump has really been acting almost like an incumbent. He hasn't been participating in the Republican debates. He's been out on his own, holding his own events. So this vote is really the first chance that voters will have the opportunity to see his name alongside other candidates to make that decision on who exactly they want to see challenge the Democrats in the presidential election. The message here is that despite the frigid temperatures, Iowans are committed. They will turn out to the polls and canvass for their candidates on Monday. William Denslow in Iowa, reporting for DD India.
Ecuador arrested 6 suspects, including a minor, after an explosive attack on Saturday against police facilities in the country. The arrests came as Ecuador's police and military aim to restore order inside the country's prisons, where dozens of staff were held hostage by inmates amid an uptick in violence. Since the state of emergency began, the law enforcement agencies have arrested more than 1,000 suspected criminals so far. In Guatemala, Bernardo Arevalo has been sworn in as its new president on Monday and Karen Herrera sworn in as vice president. The ceremony was delayed for hours without clarification or explanation, which led to protests. Demonstrators pushed through barricades and threatened to storm Guatemala's Congress. Later, when the Congress resumed, it elected Samuel Perez as the Congress president by 92 to 67 votes. Also, the Semilla party lawmakers took their seats as independents. The swearing in at Congress was delayed as the country's top court had on Sunday decided that Semilla party lawmakers would not take office affiliated with their party but as independents. 65-year-old Arevalo won the August presidential runoff. He won the election on the promise of restoring democracy and banishing deep-rooted corruption in the most populous country in Central America. Heavy snow blanketed roads, driveways and streets after a severe winter storm brought many cities in the United States to a near standstill. Dangerous freezing temperatures affected political campaigns, sports events and travel across the country. An ongoing Arctic blast has led to power outages in the Northeast and the Pacific Northwest. The National Weather Service has issued warnings with more than 95 million people under wind chill advisories, and some states expecting wind chills to plummet to minus 57 degrees Celsius. A volcano erupted in southwestern Iceland on Sunday, engulfing buildings in flames. Fountains of molten rock and smoke spewed from fissures in the ground across a wide area stretching close to the town of Grindavik. An early evacuation was carried out for the second time since November amid a swarm of seismic activity in the region, leaving no lives in danger. Authorities built barriers of earth and rock in recent weeks to try to prevent lava from reaching Grindavik, some 40 kilometers southwest of the capital Reykjavik. But the latest eruptions have penetrated those towns' defenses.
We had this eruption started just before 8 o'clock this morning. It was on the area where we have been expecting it to come, but unfortunately it went a little bit more south than we had hoped for. So it went inside the barriers that we have already built, and then also about 3-4 hours later we had another opening just outside the town of Grindavik.
And now take a look at some more stories making news around the world. Amidst heavy snowing, avalanches covered highways and roads, trapping tourists in China's Xinjiang. Some tourists also had been stranded for several days. They were airlifted by helicopter to safety on Sunday as snow plowers took over the routes. The Philippines will develop islands which are in its occupation in the South China Sea, Manila's military chief Romeo Bronner said on Monday. Among the islands that will be developed are Thitu and Nanshan Islands. South Korea's famous trekking course of Hantangang River is witnessing a surge of tourists. The UNESCO Global Geopark has a floating bridge which provides a scenic view of the basalt gorge. A 500,000 years old cliff also stands tall, which was formed when lava from a volcanic eruption cooled rapidly. Succession, Beef and Oppenheimer were the big winners at 29th Critics' Choice Awards in Santa Monica on Sunday. Along with Best Drama Series, Succession stars Kieran Culkin and Sarah Snook took home awards for Best Actor and Actress in a Drama Series, respectively. Netflix's Beef bagged a total of 4 awards, including the top prize of Best Limited Series. Oppenheimer swept Best Picture, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor and Ensemble Cast. Barbie bagged the Best Comedy Film. Still to come on DD India News Hour. India's External Affairs Minister EAM Jaishankar is on a 2-day visit to Iran. Clean Temple campaign has begun in the nation at Hindu pilgrimage sites ahead of Ram Temple event.
This is Dashrath Mahal or Dashrath Palace, which is thought to have served the home of Lord Rama in his younger days and also served as a capital of King Dashrath.
राम राज्य पूर्णतः 22 जनवरी को वापस आ रहा है। हम लोगों में एकदम हर्ष उल्लास है। जय श्री राम।
पूरी अयोध्या मालूम दुल्हन की तरह सज गई है।
राम राज्य के दर्शन करने सब राज आएगा। ये पृथ्वी का ना राजा राम जी है।
अयोध्या में राम जी का भव्य मंदिर, दिव्य मंदिर बन रहा है। ये हमारे स्वाभिमान का प्रतीक है।
Iconic Ram Ki Pedi or the series of ghats on the bank of much revered river Saryu.
राम जी का राज्य था, राम जी का राज्य है, राम जी का राज्य रहेगा।
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. A quick recap of the headlines. Hamas releases a new video of Israeli hostages as the conflict completes 100 days. Israel's cabinet set to vote on 2024 wartime budget. India's External Affairs Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar visits Iran for talks on political cooperation, connectivity and regional issues. And North Korea tests a new missile as its foreign minister travels to Russia for deepening cooperation across the board. India's External Affairs Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar is on a two-day visit to Iran. His talks with his Iranian counterpart will include bilateral, regional and global matters. Monday's meeting focuses on the Red Sea security situation as well. It gains significance amid the Israel-Hamas conflict and the Houthi threats. India closely monitors Red Sea events and intensifies its maritime security operations as well. Minister Jaishankar's recent phone call with his U.S. counterpart Antony Blinken underscores global apprehensions about the Red Sea situation. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi released the first installment to 100,000 beneficiaries of a housing scheme titled the PM Awas Yojana Gramin via video conference. Prime Minister Modi interacted with the beneficiaries on the occasion in line with the Prime Minister's efforts towards the vision of Antyodaya to empower the last person at the last mile. The scheme was launched for the socio-economic welfare of the particularly vulnerable tribal groups on the 15th of November last year on the occasion of Janajatiya Gaurav Divas.
अभी इस कार्यक्रम में 1 लाख जनजातीय लाभार्थियों के बैंक खाते में पक्के घर बनाने के लिए सरकार ने सीधे पैसे ट्रांसफर किए हैं। आपको अपना घर बनाने के लिए लगभग एक घर के लिए 2.5 लाख रुपए सरकार से मिलेंगे। और हां, बस घर ही नहीं मिलेगा, इतने से बात रुकने वाली नहीं है। बिजली का कनेक्शन मिलेगा ताकि आपके बच्चे पढ़ सके, आपके सपने पूरे हो सके, आपके नए घर में साफ पानी की व्यवस्था हो ताकि कोई बीमारी हमारे घर में ना आए और वो कनेक्शन भी मुफ्त दिया जाएगा।
We now get you special stories from Ayodhya ahead of the grand opening of the Ram Temple on 22nd January. Ayodhya's metamorphosis is a captivating blend of tradition and modernity as it prepares for the grand opening. From themed makeovers to futuristic infrastructure, the city is rewriting its story. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya gives you the lowdown on the rebirth of Ayodhya, where every brick tells a tale of resilience and cultural richness.
Welcome to the grand transformation of Ayodhya, where ancient history meets modern rejuvenation. As the countdown to the Ram Mandir's grand opening begins, Ayodhya is bustling with excitement and construction. Let's dive into the fascinating change taking place in this sacred city. In the heart of India, Ayodhya is awakening from its timeless slumber. Over 3,000 structures along the 12-kilometer road to the Ram Mandir are undergoing a spectacular makeover. Houses, shops, temples and offices, every corner resonates with the echoes of change. Behold the future. Ayodhya is not just getting a facelift, it's receiving a modern infrastructure makeover. An airport, a revamped railway station, and an upgraded bus terminal are weaving a web of connectivity for tourists and pilgrims. A greenfield township is emerging, spreading across 1,407 acres, offering a haven for long-term stays and second homes. The makeover follows a meticulous plan with 8 overarching themes guiding the change. From aesthetic Ayodhya to healthy Ayodhya, each theme contributes to a holistic transformation, promising a city that's not just visually appealing but thriving in every aspect. Nagara-style facade. A visual feed surveys Ayodhya's skyline, which is embracing the Nagara style of architecture, reminiscent of the grand temples of North India. Facade control guidelines along the key routes connecting the temple complex with the districts are infusing cultural charm. An investment of Rs 45 to 50 crore is shaping the city's aesthetics. Ayodhya's makeover goes beyond appearance. The city is once devoid of proper drainage is witnessing a revolutionary change. Key arterial roads in Shahadatganj, Peri Bazaar and more are undergoing a transformation with the laying of sewer lines, no more of old woes. A glimpse into the future. As the countdown to the Ram Mandir's consecration continues, Ayodhya's metamorphosis is capturing the essence of a city that not just reinventing itself, but preserving its rich and cultural heritage. Join us in witnessing the rebirth of Ayodhya, a city that's ready to embrace its future while honoring its past. Stay tuned for more updates on Ayodhya's incredible journey. The grand opening awaits, promising a blend of tradition and modernity. This is Ayodhya, where every brick tells a story. With camera person Sanjay Jaina, this is Tapas Bhattacharya signing off from Ayodhya.
The next report captures a vibrant spirit as students from across India converge upon Ayodhya to create stunning art. Take a look at the colorful expressions of joy and tradition.
Here in Ayodhya, that we see a lot of things happening at the same time to mark the occasion. I have with me some of the students who are here who are making this sand art, or if you may use the term. This is an architect of the Ram Mandir, the grand architect, and they are making it here using different colors, using sawdust, sand and other colors to give a replica and providing a replica of that particular that grand temple that we are talking about. These students are coming all over the country. Some are from Delhi, some are from Mathura, some from Bihar. They want to come here and celebrate this occasion. This is a historic occasion, and I have with me some of the students here. Nisha, we've seen you working here. Tell us more about this. I mean, it's a huge occasion for you and everybody here, but how this whole idea came up?
एक भैया है विराट भैया, उनका होल आइडिया है ना, हम सब उनके टीम में वर्क कर रहे हैं एंड जो अयोध्या राम जी हैं उनका तो नाम सुन के ही सबके हृदय में इतनी खुशी है। वो जो खुशी होता है, वो जो क्षण पल को अभी हम महसूस कर रहे हैं, ये तब मुझे समझ में आ रहा है कि वो वर्ड क्या था। इस क्षण को जो यहाँ आएगा, महसूस करेगा, उनके हृदय में जो आनंद की अनुभूति होती है उसको व्यक्त नहीं कर सकते।
So the lady said that it is imperative that everybody is into the whole idea of Ram, Lord Ram here, and to celebrate that occasion they are here and this this art form they are doing. Most of the students are from Bachelor of Fine Arts, some of them are from the Masters also. This is a replica of the grand temple that is going to come up, and this is Ayodhya welcoming everybody here with open arms. With camera person Sanjay Janat, this is Taposh Bhattacharya for GD India from Ayodhya.
Ahead of the consecration of the Ram Temple in Ayodhya on 22nd January, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spearheaded a clean temple campaign urging people nationwide to start a cleanliness drive at Hindu pilgrimage sites. Indian actor Jackie Shroff participated in the cleanliness drive at the oldest Ram Temple in Mumbai. January is a month of harvest festivals in India. They hold great importance and are celebrated with a festive fervour. DD India's Antara Sinha gets you more.
India is a global agricultural powerhouse. Many festivals related to the harvest of crops are celebrated in the country around this time of the year. The festivals celebrated around this time of January are majorly Makar Sankranti, Lohri, Pongal and Magh Bihu. Spiritually, Makar Sankranti marks shift in seasons. The word Sankranti in Sanskrit language means passage from one point to another, a transition. Flying kites is a way to connect to the gods, capturing the essence of the festival's spiritual significance. Talking about the north of India, there is a festival called Lohri, which is celebrated on the coldest night of January in the state of Punjab and other parts of North India. Lohri is a Punjabi harvest festival that celebrates the start of longer days and the ripening of winter crops. The festival is marked by bonfires, singing and dancing. Bihu is a prominent cultural festival in Assam that celebrates the changing seasons. Magh Bihu, also known as Bhogali Bihu, celebrates the beginning of spring and is incomplete without traditional dance known as the Bihu dance and folk songs. Interestingly, last year, swaying to the sounds of the Assamese Pepa, dancers in Assam made a historic achievement by entering the Guinness Book of World Records with over 11,000 dancers performing traditional Bihu dance at a single venue. Down south in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu, Pongal is a harvest festival celebrated by the Tamil community. It is a celebration to thank the sun, Mother Nature, and the various farm animals that help to contribute to a bountiful harvest. Celebrated over 4 days with the traditional dish Pongal, made and eaten during this festival. The word Pongal is derived from the Tamil word Pongu, which means to boil over. India is a bouquet of different cultures, and festivities like these bind India like no other country in the world. Antara Sinha's report for DD India.
In southern India, people are celebrating Pongal, a harvest festival that derives its name from the Tamil word that means spilling over. The festivities begin with boiling the season's first rice with milk and jaggery. Bhogi Pongal marks the beginning of a 4-day-long festivities. Rituals include bathing, prayer, feast, decoration, and a worship of the sun god. And my colleague Anbarasan Elango joins us from Chennai. Anbarasan, Pongal greetings to you and all those celebrating it. How are the festivities coming along? Give us a flavor of the celebrations.
Here in Chennai, the festival vibe with the Pongal, the Pongal, the festival of Tamil Nadu, and across countries, which is celebrated in various names. In this Pongal, Tamil Nadu, which is celebrated for 4 days long, which is started from yesterday, the Bogi, and today the Pongal. And tomorrow it's a Matu Pongal, which is thanking the cattle for their use for the entire year for agriculture. And the Kanum Pongal, where the people get together, meet and towards and to visit the tourist places. The Pongal significance of the thanking the nature, the entire year using a land via sunlight to make a production of agriculture products. The farmers today they took this day to thank them, and this day they meet early morning, they wake up, they make a rangoli in their houses, and early morning in their part they make a rice, jaggery, milk, they use a pongal, which is a sweet dish, and after that they will be offering to the god. After that they met together visiting the places. It's a kind of all came together one and celebrate this festival along with that. And tomorrow it's a and also in Tamil Nadu, there is a Jallikattu, which is celebrated today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow in various places where they will be damming the bull. And across Tamil Nadu, it's a kind of across Tamil Nadu and also in across India, it's celebrated as a festival that came together, uniting one. And this particular festival, kind of Tamilians feel like it's their pride. And across world also, in wherever the Tamilians are there, they celebrate together with their family and exchange their thoughts. In this festival also kind of a significance to the nature came together as a one, and also this festival particularly tomorrow celebrated as a Matu Pongal, where they will be putting colors to the bull, and they will be decorating their bull and also giving a food, whatever special food to the cow. So they will thanking via that. And the day after Kanu Pongal, where they will be visiting various places. So one of the uniting festival of Pongal across India, it's celebrated in different forms, but the main motto is thanking nature via that.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Anbarasan in Chennai, thank you. Much appreciated. The Tamil community in Sri Lanka celebrates Thai Pongal on Monday with fervour and gaiety. Observed at the start of the Tamil month Thai, Pongal is a multi-day harvest festival dedicated to the sun god. The traditional dish is prepared from the new harvest of rice boiled in milk with jaggery under the sunlight. Devotees thronged temples across the island since morning to thank for the abundance of the previous year's harvest and to pray for a successful one in the coming year. The Assistant High Commission of India at Kandy celebrated Pongal too with traditional festivities at Mathala on Sunday. Moving on, Lieutenant Governor of India's Jammu and Kashmir, Manoj Sinha, said that the Union Territory's journey of transformation in the last 4 years stands as a testament to Prime Minister Modi's courage and determination. He was speaking at the Prasar Bharati confluence in New Delhi.
पिछले 4-4.5 वर्षों में जम्मू कश्मीर की यात्रा प्रधानमंत्री जी के साहस और संकल्प की यात्रा रही है। कई पीढ़ियों से सजोए सपनों को साकार करने की यात्रा भी से आप कह सकते हैं। उस यात्रा ने सामान्य जिंदगी, गुणवत्तापूर्ण जीवन और देश के अन्य भागों की तरह तरक्की की चाह रखने वाले हर एक नागरिक के जीवन को और उसके प्राण को आंदोलित किया है।
All right, now take a look at some other stories making news in India. India's Minister Dharmendra Pradhan participates in a cleanliness drive at Gopalji Temple in Devgarh in Odisha, expressing his anticipation ahead of the consecration ceremony of Ram Temple in Ayodhya. The minister said, in many countries of the world, the enthusiasm of Sanatanis, Hindus and Ram Bhakts has increased tremendously. The whole country will celebrate Diwali on that day, unquote. The Chief Minister of the Central Indian state of Madhya Pradesh, Dr. Mohan Yadav, on Monday personally oversaw the meticulous preparation and packaging of 500,000 laddus, a sweet in Ujjain to be sent for Ayodhya by 21st of January. The Chief Minister said that he wanted to revive the relationship between Ujjain and Ayodhya they've had for thousands of years. India's ruling party, the BJP's President JP Nadda, painted the party's lotus symbol during the launch of the wall writing program in New Delhi. Starting Monday, countrywide wall writing programs have started with the slogan of Ek Baar Phir Modi Sarkar. To business news now, Asian shares got off to a stumbling start on Monday as China's central bank left the medium-term policy rate unchanged. Taiwan's stock market rose on the first trading day after election over the weekend, with a benchmark Taiwan weighted index opening higher. Meanwhile, stock markets in Hong Kong and mainland China opened relatively weaker. Japan's Nikkei climbed to a fresh 34-year peak. India's benchmark index Sensex surpassed 73,000 for the first time on Monday, and the Nifty crossed the 22,000 mark. The surge was fueled by a strong rally in IT stocks. The Sensex rose 634 points to an all-time high of 73,203, while the Nifty reached a lifetime high of 22,060 in early trade. And still to come on DD India News Hour. India beats Afghanistan by 6 wickets in the second T20I at Indore. Indian women's hockey team outplays New Zealand to a 3-1 win at the FIH Hockey Olympic qualifiers. And Real Madrid is crowned the Spanish Super Cup champions after a 4-1 demolition of Barcelona.